How's it going, guys? I wanted to do a quick video today to clear a little bit of confusion up that has crept into one of my past videos. I did a video in the past talking about the differences between the 5.56x45 NATO round and the 223 Remington round. And on that video, over the past, I don't know, year and a half, 2 years almost that it's been up, there's been a lot of people rolling in on the comments with a lot of false information. And so I wanted to just do a little addendum video to that video just to kind of make sure that those that are viewing that video will have a place to go to get a few simple questions answered. But anyway, one of the biggest questions that I get all the time in that video is, will my AR-15 shoot both rounds? And you know, for one thing, I can't always answer the question because they just say, well, does my AR-15 shoot that? Well, I don't know what kind of AR-15 you have, and so I couldn't answer that question anyway. But I wanted to do this video just to clarify that question and let people know how they can identify what kind of round their rifles shoot. And this goes for all rifles. It doesn't just go for AR-15s, but we are going to use the AR-15 as an example. One of the biggest things that people say is, you look at your lower receiver and by your serial number, a lot of times it'll say 223 or 5.56 or multi-cal or something like that. And that's how you know what your gun shoots. Well, that is entirely, completely false. You never, ever, ever want to look at the lower receiver of an AR-15 to determine what kind of round your AR-15 will shoot. In general, most AR-15s are chambered in a 5.56 chamber. And so you can shoot both of these rounds in a 5.56 chamber. But one of the upsides to the AR-15 is that it's a modular design. It can be swapped. You can swap out different uppers with different lowers and vice versa. And that makes it a very versatile design. But what it also does is even if this says 223 on it or 5.56, you might have a different lower or a different upper than it came with originally. And then the information is completely wrong. So how you determine what your rifle shoots, and this goes with pretty much all rifles, is you look at the barrel roll marks. Okay, they're either going to have a roll mark or an engraving, something like that on the barrel that's going to tell you what caliber your rifle is chambered for. So for instance, on an AR-15, let me pull this out here. On an AR-15, usually the marking or the roll marks is towards the end of the barrel. You see the flash hider here. On mine, it's marked towards the end, and it says 5.56 NATO, 1/9. And the 1/9 is actually the twist rate of the barrel itself. The 5.56 is the actual chamber in which the gun is chambered for. So mine is chambered in a 5.56 chamber. Now, what that allows me to do is that allows me to shoot both of these ammos. This is 223 Remington, this is 5.56x45 NATO ball. Alright, so the general rule of thumb when it comes to these two rounds is you can shoot a 223 Remington in a 5.56 chamber, but you should not shoot a 5.56 in a 223 Remington chamber. Okay? So if your gun is a 5.56 chamber, you can shoot both of these rounds. But if it's a 223 Remington chamber, you should not shoot 5.56 in it. Alright, and for more information and regarding the fine details on that, you can check out the video that I did a while back, and I'll leave a link down below in the description box so that you can check that video out. But that is the general rule of thumb. Now, what about other rifles? Well, let me show you another rifle here. This one here is a Remington 700, okay, bolt gun, and this one is chambered in 223 Remington, if you can see it right there. 223 Remington. That is the roll mark on this barrel, and that's what this is chambered in. I would never shoot 5.56 in this rifle, okay? I would only shoot 223 Remington because I would run the risk of damaging my rifle or injuring myself or bystanders if I fire this round in there. Now, I know that there's going to be some people that are going to roll into the comments, because they always do, and say that, well, I've shot thousands of rounds of 5.56 through my 223 Remington and I've never had a problem. Well, that's all great and well and good for them, and that might actually be a safe thing to do in their particular rifle with their particular ammo. But in my opinion, it's not worth the risk of damaging my gun and me by shooting 5.56 out of a 223 Remington chamber. And again, you can get all the details of all the nerdy details of that in my video down below. So somebody in the comments is going to say, well, most AR-15s are chambered in 5.56, and that is totally true. And so for the most part, it's not a non-issue because most AR-15s are chambered for 5.56. But that is not always the case. In fact, there are several on the market that are chambered in 223 Remington, such as the Remington R15 is a 223 chamber, and you would not want to fire military ball through that rifle. There are most of your Predator or your Varmiting style rifles out there are also chambered in 223, and the reason why they do that is because if you fire a 223 from a 5.56 chamber, you'll get slightly less accuracy because a 5.56 chamber has a tendency, lacking other terms, is loose. It's a looser chamber, and so you get a little bit of inconsistencies when you're firing a 223 out of it. You will get more accuracy out of the 223 Remington shooting 223 Remington because it's a bit tighter chamber and a bit more consistent. Now there is a third chamber out there called the wild chamber. And there's several companies that utilize the wild chamber. I think Rock River is one of the companies that uses it a lot. And what a wild chamber is, it's kind of a hybrid chamber between the 5.56 and the 223 chamber. It's a hybrid, so it has the capability of shooting the 5.56 ball, but it has the capability also of being a bit more accurate with the 223. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. And if you have a wild chamber in your gun, thumbs up. You did a really good job in purchasing that gun because it is really, in my opinion, one of the best chambers out there. Anyway, just a quick video just to let you guys know some of the general rules when it comes to that and also how to determine what your gun will shoot. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll try to get back to your questions. I can't always just because there's so many of them and my time is limited, but I try to get back to as many as I can. So leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to rate the video, share it with your friends. It does help the video out and it does help our channel grow, and I really, really appreciate it. And as always, guys, thanks very, very much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. See ya.